What's up? It's Steph's Rock Show on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all the things. And we have a very special guest, a local artist that I'm a fan of, Tiffany from Enemy of Fate. Thanks for coming by.
Good morning.
Good morning. I know it is. It's morning, huh?
Afternoon if you're somewhere else in the world, but yeah, it's coffee time here.
Yeah. You know what I just did? I took a sip right before this started and I thought it was water and it's coffee. So it was like a pleasant surprise. But I was like, oh, I forgot that was iced coffee. I thought it was water.
I'm good to go for about an hour and then I'll just start kind of,
yeah. I get afternoon sleepies. Like I'm a morning and night person, but I'm not an afternoon person.
Yeah, I am nothing morning person. I cannot function until coffee time. And then about 11 o'clock, this is when I start perking up like, okay, we're ready to go for the day.
Okay. That's a very metal thing. Like most metal bands are like noon or 1 is the earliest they want to schedule. They kind of want to sleep in. So I saw an interview with you online and I loved it. Like the name of Enemy of Fate, time is our own worst enemy, you said, but it's never too late to aspire to fulfill your dreams. Mm-hmm. And I like the whole meaning behind the name of the band. What is a dream of yours that you still want to accomplish that you haven't accomplished yet?
I'm living it, which I'm very fortunate to say. And I'm grateful to my husband who like literally punted me out of my comfort zone and right on into doing music and writing and sharing stories and supporting mental health. When I was little, I wanted to be a defense attorney. And I think that I've kind of passed my prime to get into that industry. But yeah, that was a passion of mine all my life. And life took a different direction. But yeah, I would say I'm living my dream now. And it's an active choice that I make every day to invest in myself and things that I'm passionate about that get me up out of bed every day. So
yeah, keep it moving. And it's never too late to start anything. Like my family was in law and I thought I was going to go into law and then I switched into radio. So I just was like, that's what I like. And that's cool. You and your husband, Mickey, are a team. You guys also own a talent management company as well.
Yes.
So you guys are just really in the scene.
Yes. Yeah. And it all kind of started when, Mickey started photography. So he's very passionate about his photography business. And he spent a lot of years being a photographer for bands and traveling around, the country shooting. So that was just kind of music has always played a part in both of our lives, whether we were separate or together united. And so it just made sense to dive all the way in. So here we are.
Yeah. So when did you know you wanted to be a singer or kind of got the bug to start singing?
I have sang all my life, and not professionally, but it was always a favorite family pastime, kind of sitting around, the old circuit karaoke machines and listening to oldies and Motown. And that's what I was raised on and just spending that time together. And so music is like the one language we can all universally appreciate and embrace and come together with. And so that has always stayed with me. And so I spent a lot of time just with friends, even going out to the local watering holes and just having a good night with karaoke and singing, getting up on stage and singing our favorite songs and just having a good time. So it's always just been a part of me.
Yeah. Good memories. Yes. When did you start kind of professionally though? Like I'm taking it to the next level. I'm going to do a band.
In 2019, the Voice opened up auditions and it was my husband. It was Mickey that encouraged me to go try out. And I'm like, dude, there's no way. There's no way with tens of thousands of people. Like I'd be wasting my time. It's just
no, but why not? I'm like, do it. Just shoot for the stars.
Yeah. So he did. He encouraged me strongly and forced me, and that's okay. I'm grateful he did because it was an awesome experience to get to go down to LA and to the big convention center where there were really literally tens of thousands of people, just pouring their heart and soul into the belief, and went through the trial process. And I didn't make it, unfortunately, but for many vast reasons, and we'll never know the whys. But it was a wonderful experience to go, you know what, this is something that really is exciting for me. And it's an opportunity. So that's kind of where it started. And then in 2021, after COVID hit, the auditions were just virtual for The Voice. So I went on a virtual process and had a little bit of an bruised ego. And, Mickey's like, just get out and do it again. You never know why they didn't choose you. It could be your age. It could be a certain look or a demographic they're looking for, or a specific story to tell. So just give it a try again. I believe in you. And my friends all encouraged me, my family. So I went again and didn't deliver a strong audition because I didn't have faith in myself. And that's something that I had always struggled with, is just belief in myself. And I think that comes from the upbringing that I had and lack of guidance and belief and faith kind of driven into me. So it didn't go so well. And I just kind of tabled it and thought, you know, this is just isn't something that's for me. And an opportunity arose last year where our business partner, Alan, who's also a part of our management team collectively, was looking for a female vocalist on a project. And we're all just casually, Mickey, myself, and Alan, just sitting around a lunch table having a conversation. And Alan goes, you know, we really need to get a female artist. And Mickey perks up and he's like, well, you know, we got one sitting right here at the table. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's awesome. You didn't even go out auditioning for the band. The band kind of found you. The project landed in your lap. That's really cool.
Yeah. So we came home to my house after lunch and I made them both turn around like the voice. They couldn't look at me. And I popped on an Adele song. I was so nervous. And
that's hard to sing. Adele isn't easy.
Yeah. No. And I was very nervous. And I started singing I Drink Wine to Alan. And about 10 seconds in, he swung his chair around like, you know.
That's so funny, like a mini voice audition.
Yes. And his eyeballs are, you know, this big. And he's like, where have you been? And why have you been hiding this from me? Like, I got a whole lecture. And he's like,
girl, you got to get confidence. You're killing it. Your voice is great. Like, you're great.
So that's
but I understand.
Long-winded story. That's kind of how we got into it. So I've only been doing this for about 11 months professionally. And so I got thrown into the studio with an amazing producer. His name is Nick Miller. He is from the original A Skylit Drive.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. And so into the studio for the first time I went, had no idea what I was going to write about. And in the quiet of my home, when Mickey was gone, the dogs were quiet, and I just had time to reflect, like, what am I going to write about? The story started unfolding about my father onto paper. And that's how we ended up with the first single, Dear Dad.
Wow. Okay. I gotta definitely hear that because I got daddy issues just on my part. So, but I do think having a lot of trauma growing up and issues has catapulted me to be better even as a journalist because I'm hypersensitive to listening to people and whatnot. So sometimes trauma can write the best music, or going through difficult times and losing people can help inspire you to write good lyrics.
And the vulnerability that it takes to be able to write.
Lot.
I mean, you're exposing your most inner turmoils and fears and heartbreak onto paper, and then you're taking that and transposing it into a relative song and in music. It's such a process that I couldn't even describe into words. You know,
you're allowing strangers into your mind and your heart too, and kind of opening yourself up to the public. So that's cool that you're not only singing, but you're also writing your own lyrics. I didn't know that because there's a lot of ghostwriters nowadays, or a lot of people are buying their music. So that's kind of rare that the singer's also writing.
Yes.
I read that you dig Disturbed and Lady Gaga, which I like that it's kind of, you know, all over the map. Are those also music influences of yours, or just people that you would like to perform with?
I would love to perform with both. I'm such a huge fan of Lady Gaga because she is so unapologetically herself, and that inspires me to be able to write and tell the stories of experiences that I've been through, and be okay when people are critical of those stories or can't relate because they've never experienced. And so she is awe-inspiring. Her voice is amazing. And yes, Disturbed too, huge fan. But I have a vast array of love for music. So the Eagles, and then we've got Stevie Wonder and Aretha Franklin, and it's kind of all over the board.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And I also read you had a fan ask for some of your hair. That's crazy. Did you give your hair away, or was that just no? You did not give them.
I would like to keep it all here, but yes, they like kind of came over and was just like wrapping up in the hair and touching it, like
weird. And you didn't know them?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little forward. That's a little too much.
Well, I tried it during live shows. I really do try hard to engage the crowd on a personal level. So I get down off stage and I will get right in your face. And so I think that opened the door, like, oh, that's my friend. And I'm like, no, you know? So,
No,
yeah.
I vibe. So I did burlesque for 12 years. I have it now for 4 years, but I'm excited. I'm going to MC this event with you guys. I might even want to perform. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really old now, but I want to host August 9th at Roseville Goldfield, and Enemy of Fate is playing Failure by Proxy. It's also a tribute to a girl that's passed away, Angel. And so tell us more about the show and kind of how it came about.
It hits really close to home for us. For Enemy of Fate, our drummer is the one whose daughter that we are honoring at this show. So
Wow.
she was 20 years old and was tragically lost in a vehicle accident, and so it was very unexpected. She was traveling down to Monterey. She was going to see a show, actually, and huge lover of music, watching her dad grow up and playing drums and being in bands. And so it was just a very tough, unexpected blow. And
Wow.
what an opportunity to support and embrace and remember someone who was so invested in the local music scene.
Yeah.
And so that is how this tribute show culminated. And she was going to be a marine biologist, and she was wanting to study oceanology. And she's a lover of the ocean and water and nature. So we wanted to take the opportunity to support her by gifting all of the proceeds to her family, who are then in turn going to be supporting projects that had supported her passion.
Wow, what a great way to honor her. And I'm
Yes.
privileged to be able to be a part of this event. And
We
I
are
know
honored to
all
have
my
you. We're
friends.
very excited.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, I'm stoked. I just started this podcast 4 months ago, so it's like a baby project, but I started radio 20 years ago. So it's kind of done it, but this is a new thing that I'm doing. So this will be really neat to host events again. I haven't hosted events since LA, like before becoming a mom. So it's been quite a long time. So I'm excited to get back out there. And then so Surrender's out now. How long did that take to create?
It's about, well, it was amazing. I work with a team of musicians that are absolutely just savants when it comes to music. And they wrote the music bed for me. And I was in the studio that morning preparing to record, and I hadn't gotten the music bed yet. So I'm literally in the studio, and I have no idea what the song is, what it sounds like, what I'm going to write to it. And this was about 11 o'clock in the morning. I got dropped the music bed. It's like, okay, Tiff, here you go. Now run. And in about 2.5 hours, I had written Surrender. The music bed was a very like industrial, sexy track to me. That's what I was hearing out of it. And that's what inspired the lyrics that I wrote to that song. It was kind of a women's empowerment song. It's a heavy metal song. It's one that, you know, the guys can get down to in the pit, but I didn't want the ladies to feel excluded from that. And so, you know, that sexiness inside of us that we like to take control and kind of be dominant in the bedroom. And it's a nod to our partners when they allow us to be, because they really get the best of us. So
I like
what the song's
that.
about.
Yeah, no, I dig that. I can be dominant sometimes. I think I can be too masculine, but it's fine. It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to choose, these are two of my favorite female-led bands, between Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm or Maria Brink from In This Moment, who would you choose?
Oh, man.
I know. I like them
They're
both.
both vastly different artists, and
Yeah.
and I love them both for very different reasons. I would love to go on tour with Maria Brink, because I think the theatrical, the role playing, that sits well in our pocket of music and style. I think they mesh really well. So I would be in awe to tour with either of them. Izzy Hale, she has carved such a path for women in the metal scene, and her heavy rock and even her features with other artists is just awe-inspiring.
Yeah, she just played with Skid Row. I don't know if you saw that.
I know, I saw that. I was like, how did I miss that show?
Yeah. That's really cool. Her range.
Too.
Yeah, her vocal range is insane. She can kind of jump on board with from rock to pop to heavier to lighter things. But I agree with, I think Maria is more my style as far as her performance, the way she gets all dressed up, and she seems angry when she sings. And I love like a good release of anger in a lead singer. I vibe with it.
Yes.
But yeah, I've
And
had in
all
this
the
moment on.
texture in her voice. I mean, she can go from that whispery, sultry to the screaming and the unclean vocals and, got that vocal fry going on. She's so on lock and she's so in tune and her range is amazing. You don't always hear it in all of her tracks because it's more about the theatrics and the texture versus the range. But man, when she hits it, she did, I think she did a feature with Papa Roach not too long ago either. And man, it blew my mind. So
Papa Roach and Chris from Motionless in White. Like I love all these like coming together, these bands.
I love the collabs.
Me too. Me too. It's cool. So what's coming up next for Enemy of Fate? What do we have to look forward to besides definitely August 9th, the show?
August 29th, we are co-headlining with Plush at the Starlit Room at Harlow's in Sacramento. So we're very excited. We know Plush is coming fresh off a tour the night before with Disturbed. So we're really excited to be performing with them. And on August 9th, we're actually going to be releasing our next track. It's called Runaway. So we'll get to release and announce that release at the show that night. And we'll be doing that live as well. We're also next week headlining at Chain Reaction in Anaheim. So the historic music venue, and we're recording our next video shoot. So October 4th, we'll be releasing that track with the video shoot. So we've got a lot going on. We're also going on tour in October. So
you guys are busy.
All good things.
Yeah.
Ahead.
I can't wait to check you guys out and see it. And I love Chain Reaction. I've been there a lot. And it is such a staple in the music industry. Like Chain Reaction and Whiskey, you've got to play those, before anyone throws in the towel. And that's
we are playing with Burning Witches in October at Whiskey A Go-Go. So we're really excited. We're just quite honored. And I'm just, enjoying it and embracing it all as it unfolds itself.
Girl, you're on fire. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for stopping by Steph's Rock Show. And I will definitely see you August 9th and hopefully, more after that too. I want to come to a lot of the shows. So
absolutely. Thank you.